Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life. Now we will discuss the male version, bringing change into your life. Before I begin, I would like to say please do not get upset by the references I make to the Bible if you do not believe in God. I am not trying to indoctrinate you. We have enough religious zealots in this country who use the name of God as an excuse for all the evil they do, and I'm not trying to create any more zealots. I find the Word of God can be comforting to most and cause a resurgence of hope. So I say, indoctrination is not my purpose. My purpose is to stimulate your thinking, to get you to see there are more than one solution to many common problems. Because many people are steeped in tradition, they find themselves unable to extricate themselves from dilemmas. I use the Bible because it is a book commonly known to most people, where I can reference the logic demonstrated in the book. Most people know the story of Joshua and Gideon. Our thoughts and emotions are shaped by the way we think and by the way we frame by the information we receive from others. A good filtering process is necessary to keep one's thinking healthy. Read the passage Genesis 9 to 6. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall have his blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made man. God did not make you man by some magic trick. Your making was a deliberate act. This was a passionate act. Creating anything requires passion. You were fashioned by his hand to resemble him. Is creation not the greatest achievement for man in the world? When you see a man play a guitar and create music, are you not amazed and overcome with joy? When you see a man pick up a trumpet, are you not amazed and glorified at the sound he produces? Be creators, like the force that created you. Glorify your body by caring for your garden. Do not put filth in your body. Your body is a citadel of the Lord. Also go to the book of Judges and read Judges several times. Read the dialogue between Gideon and the Lord. Notice what God said to Gideon when Gideon told God he was weak. God spoke right over Gideon. He ignored what Gideon was saying, as if his statement that was not applicable to the situation. How many times have you told yourself that you were weak? Did you ask God, was your weakness applicable to the situation you were facing in life? Take note that God sends 300 men into battle who lapped the water like dogs. Why did he do this? In Judges 7:5, God tells Gideon, separate those who lap the water with tongues like a dog from those who kneel to drink. Remember, God made you man. He did not make you in the image of the envious one, the person that cannot create, where you are to crawl and slither on the ground. He gave you a bipedal gait where you can walk upright, stand up like men. You must give life all that you can give it. When your day is done, let your son remember your name. You are to learn to read and write and give your soul to your son so your son can carry you into the future. For that is all there is to life. Life is the smile that you place on your wife's face after leaving her bed. And life is your son remembering your name. God made you man. From this moment on, regardless of your past sins, you will live and die as the creation God made. The call has gone out over the land. God is calling his sons back to him. Now you must answer him. You belong to the God who said his name is I am. You belong to the God who raised Lazarus from the dead. You belong to the God who sent his son to earth to redeem you. You belong to the God who sent Gideon and 300 men into battle. You belong to the God who made you a companion, allowing you to have the seed to live forever. You belong to the God who held the sun and the moon in place, allowing his son Joshua to win a battle over the Amorites. You belong to the God who said, I am the only God you cannot fashion with your hands. I can only be seen through your heart. Does he not have the right to call you back to him, now that you have strayed and worshipped other gods? God made you man. When you take God and put his word in your heart, you will be a changed man. When the devil comes to you, you will feel the power of God and you will know that you can resist the devil. You have an absolute to rely upon, an absolute that has been infallible throughout the ages, never failing, always reassuring. You must remember, you are not defeated when you walk with God. I want you to put this information in your spirit. Say, I am not defeated when I walk with God. Nowhere in the Bible can you find one instance where God was defeated or ever considered defeat. God always spoke in the active voice. He never took a passive position. Even when he was waiting on man to change, God was still active. One of the weapons that the devil uses to get man to defeat himself is to convince man that there is no way out. And that's the lie. At no time are you defeated when God is sitting next to you. God is walking with you. No one can count you out. This is the change you must make. You must change the way you think. You must learn enough about God to know his method of doing things. Read the following passage where God is telling Gideon he wants the Midianites destroyed. Gideon is telling the Lord that in his estimation he can't do the job. God's response. Notice the passage of time and the words that God uses. Spend time reading this passage. Note how Gideon perceives himself. Gideon saw himself as weak. He was not counting on God to help him in the battle. In fact, he could not see how God could help him because there were so many Midianites to fight. The Midianites were Jews. They were descendants of Abraham, who had rebelled and abandoned God and his ways. God had warned them a long time ago, but they refused to change. The Midianites had decided that life would be better doing whatever their buddies suggested. Besides, who was this God that no one could see? They were doing all right living on their own without God. The statues that they fashioned out of wood and stone were great gods. Who needs a God that you cannot see? God had been long suffering. God sat and watched the Midianites year in and year out go about their business, ignoring him as if he did not exist, since they couldn't see him. Something like the way he watched you go about your business, pretending that he did not exist. or that he could not, because you could not see him. Midianites were descendants of Midian, the son who was produced between Abraham and his concubine. In the book of Proverbs, God speaks of sons born outside of marriage. These sons do not receive the recognition and the constant nourishing of their fathers. These men turn to murder. They are filled with anger for being rejected. Rejection produces rage. Rage unrestrained produces violence. Violence leads to murder. This is why God suggests that man marry and consort only with his wife, so all his sons will live in the same household and be subject to the same teaching. It was the Midianites who sold Joseph. No Jew was supposed to be sold into slavery. Joseph was the son of Jacob, born to him and Rachel. The line is Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then Joseph. When you finish reading the passage, compare the way Gideon perceived himself and the way Joshua looked at himself. Joshua was full of spirit. He was full of belief. He was the one who told the Jews, we can conquer this land. Never did Joshua consider defeat, even in the land of giants. You are who you think you are. If you think defeat, you are defeated. If you think you are invincible, you are invincible. The presence of God in your life makes you invincible, because nothing is impossible with God. Why was Cassius Clay invincible? When he changed his perception of himself and told the world to call him Muhammad Ali. The world wasn't satisfied with Cassius Clay changing his name to Muhammad Ali. They were angry. But Cassius Clay did not care. He had become Muhammad Ali in his mind, and that's who he remained for the rest of his life. Was Nelson Mandela not invincible when he sat in prison for 27 years? His spirit could not be killed. There are hundreds and hundreds of men throughout the world who are invincible because they see themselves as masters, not dogs as the devil wants them to believe. Victory is in the mind, not in the body. Body is only a manifestation of the mind. Think sad and sick, and soon the body will look sad and sick. Think health and wealth, and your body will glow. There will be a life force in your eyes that you will not be able to dull, even when you're trying to hide it from your enemy. There are moments in life when you want your enemy to believe you are defeated. You do not want him to see that life force in your eyes. It takes indomitable strength to appear weak when God's strength is raging inside of you. When you have time, read all of Judges chapter 6. Listen to the way God speaks and how he says what he has to say. There is no fat, there are no wasted words. Every word is precise. The book of Joshua and Judges are excellent subjects to learn the character of God. God is passionate. Why do you think you are passionate? You have the very same nature as God. Why do you think you become angry when you are betrayed, or when you have been long suffering? You have the nature of God. He made you in his image. You also demonstrate restraint and self-control, and he has the capacity to love. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break.
What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow. Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words? Life is too short for you to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to surround yourself with anything but positivity. And that's what we need to talk about now, dealing with toxic people. Now, we can't change all of our relationships, but we can change some. Some of us might come from families that are not supportive, and some of us come from families and have friends that are very supportive. And that's what we need to figure out now. Who is helping you? Who truly supports you as a person? Who wishes you all the success in the world? Those are the people you need to be around. Those are the people you need to stay connected with. I want you to think about 5 people that you talk to or hang out with the most. Of those 5 people, how many of them are positive influences on your life? How many of those people are helping you build the foundation to your success? And for the people who are not, are you willing to cut them out of your life? Is it worth having people around you that don't believe in you? Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. And until you can change who you let around you and how much they influence you, you will continue down the same path. But the time is now. You can no longer let negative influences impact your goals. Your new chapter starts right now. Think about the positive people. Think about building with them, connecting with them, because they will be the positive influence that you need to help succeed in your life. They will be the driving force for you to live your best life. Today, I choose love. From my past, my future, to my family and friends, I choose love. With everything we've got going on in the world today, all the hate and negativity, love is all we have, and it's all we need. If you can start each day with love, you will watch your world change. But the time is now to forgive, to forget, to move on. Do this and your perspective will change. If I know one thing, I would rather live in a world with love and openness than a world full of pain. And it's our choice to believe in something bigger than us. One world, one people, one love. At what point did you think this was gonna be easy? At what point did you think this was gonna be handed to you? This is life. Every moment, every second, as precious as the next. I don't care if you've lost. I don't care if you failed. I don't care if you've hit bottom. As long as that hunger still lies inside, as long as that light still flickers, you fight. We fight for the people that believe in us. We fight for the moments, we fight for the seconds. We fight for the pride. We fight for the dreams. We fight. We always fight. I can tell you, this will be the hardest thing you have ever experienced. That moment when you decide to risk everything to follow your dreams. But when you realize it is possible, that this is no longer a dream, this is a reality, you will change. The hustle will be born. But you need to believe in the process. Countless hours, sleepless nights, leaving nothing on the table, because we can't let this one fail. We won't let this one fail. We grind because we have to now. We push because we have to now. There is no wait for this dream. Every move is calculated, every decision is planned and executed. You've got one shot to make this count. No room for regrets in this life. We dream big, we push big, we grind big, we live big. So tell me, are you dreaming or are you pushing?
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Every year, thousands of books are written on how to achieve our dreams, how to live a happier life, or make a lot of money. Yet, the number of people living unhappy lives keeps going up. People living a life of uncertainty, a life of despair. What could be the problem? Were the books lying about these promises, or were people not practicing what they read? You see, the truth is that most times we know exactly what we want out of life, and we often know how to get there. So, what is the missing link? It's the courage to take that first step, to go from where we are right now to the life of freedom and fulfillment we so much desire. We must first leave our comfort zone, and it takes courage to make that move. And that is exactly where all those books failed. They tell you what you should do, but can't get you to take that first step. A wise man once said, "Without courage, you can't leave your comfort zone. If you don't leave your comfort zone, you can't grow. If you can't grow, you can't be your best. And if you can't be your best, you can't be happy." Now, we ask that you purchase the series Women of Courage on our website, touchedbythelight.us. This knowledge will enhance your life. A portion of the purchase price will go towards programs for women and children. We ask that you share this knowledge with your young children and encourage women to purchase the series. It's important that we never forget that women contributed equally to the success of mankind.
Here is Judges chapter 6, 14 through 16. Pay close attention to how God speaks. You never hear him say if or may or I think this might happen. He always speaks declaratively. The Lord turned to him and said, "Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hands. Am I not sending you?" "But Lord," Gideon asked, "how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest clan of all, and I am the least in my family." The Lord answered, "I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites together." God told Gideon to go forward. Those of you who have been in the military understand this type of order. The first sergeant says attack. He does not tell you the plan, he says attack. And because you have confidence in your training and in the men who trained with you and the leadership, you attack. You do not sit around and tell the first sergeant, "I don't think we have enough men to win the battle." You do as you are ordered. You attack. This is why General Patton was such a great leader. He trained his troops. They believed in themselves and they believed in him. So when he told them to march 100 miles, they marched. When God gives you an order, you are to follow him because there is no force on this earth more formidable than he. God does not believe in losing. He could have left man on the earth wallowing in his filth. Remember, he destroyed man once by water, but God was not satisfied. He said he would not do that again. He said he wanted all his sons to return to him. So he sent Jesus to the earth. He allowed Jesus to die and go to hell to redeem us from our sins. Can you think of any greater sacrifice than the sacrifice Jesus paid for you? God does not like to lose. He has sent a call out through the land. He wants his sons to return to him. What are you going to do? To supplement what you are learning today, I suggest you read the book A Christian is Never Desperate. The information you read will help you lay a foundation for dealing with negative people, fear, and avoidance. This book is especially good for the woman or man who is just divorced, or the man who lost his girlfriend, or the woman who has lost her boyfriend, or the man or woman who is starting a new business. In other words, if you are full of fear, you can learn to stand up. It is just a matter of developing good behavior and trying over and over again, learning from your mistakes. If you email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com, we can tell you how to obtain the book, The Christian is Never Desperate. It sells for $9.95. Believe me, you will enjoy reading the book over and over again, and there is much to learn. A Christian is Never Desperate is not available in bookstores. You can only obtain the book through the Women and Children Restoration Ministry out of Ann Arbor. Unlike bookstores, the proceeds realized from the sale of the book go to programs that help women and children in stress. The book tells you that you can be victorious over adversity. A Christian acts and lives by faith. God always has a miracle for you. He gives you the facts you need to make important decisions, to be successful, and to overcome mediocrity. A Christian is Never Desperate is another one of our pocket-sized devotionals that you can keep in your car, in your purse, or at work whenever you need to reach for something that will strengthen you to fight the day. When a problem strikes, when the horizon looks gloomy and gray, it is not time for despair. It is not time to act as if there is no hope. It is time to tell the storm that God is with you and there is nothing to fear. You can read the book at touchedbythelight.us. You can read the first chapter of the book and watch a video. This book was not written to indoctrinate you into the cult of being a Christian. We do not ask you to follow God blindly. The book was written to help you stand against soothsayers who do not want you to prosper. A Christian is never desperate discusses the trinity of trouble, which is worry, doubt, and fear. Are you the person like the Jews in the desert who murmured and doubted and argued with Moses and Aaron concerning their faith when they encountered the trinity of trouble, worry, doubt, and fear? The book A Christian is Never Desperate is for people who have encountered the trinity of trouble. Worry, doubt, and fear will put you in the grave if you let it. Men carry around demons for years, long times until the demons start to take over. Worry is the repetition of one or several thoughts of doom. Doubt is the everlasting question, is something right or wrong? Fear is always being afraid. Worry, doubt, and fear can destroy your continence. These emotions can land you in the hospital or on the psychiatric couch. Drugs and alcohol are only temporary fixes to making you feel good. The book Christian is Never Desperate tells you that you do not have to succumb to these emotions. You do not have to drug yourself with pills and alcohol. A Christian is Never Desperate tells you it is time to change the way you live. Today can be a major turning point in your life. When you want something that you have never had, you must do something that you have never done. So if you want to change your life forever, you must change your behavior today. If you are struggling to control your life, here's an opportunity for you to change. Pick up a book and read it. We are just as responsible for the things we do as we are responsible for the things we do not do. This is the day you can change. Make your life exciting again. Get out of the rut. You can change your world one step at a time. There is no reason why you cannot reach for your dream. Remember, if you are feeling lost, come join us on Saturday and see what you can do when you work with like-minded women. Here are some questions for you. What is desperation? What causes desperation? What leads to desperation? Why can't desperation be managed? The dictionary defines the word desperation as a noun, as lost hope and surrender to despair, a state of hopelessness leading to rashness. The synonyms for despair are despondence, forlornness, and hopelessness. The dictionary goes on to provide a sentence for the meaning of despair. She felt overcome by desperation, the desperation of severe poverty. They hired me out of desperation because they couldn't find anyone else. As you read the definition of the word desperation, one becomes surrounded by gloom. This is a dark word, a word no one wants to use very often. One would say your life sucks if you are desperate. Desperation is not a happy occasion. Desperation is an emotion that can lead you to kill someone, to commit adultery, to cheat at work, or to commit a foolish act. A desperate person feels there is no way out. They are boxed into one behavior. Thoughts run through their mind. I have to do this or else. I have to try this even though I don't think it will work. Maybe I can win. These are the questions and situations we explore in A Christian is Never Desperate. The supposition is if you believe in God, that God should appear in your life causing you not to commit a desperate act. There should be enough information in God's Word to cause a man or a woman to reconsider acting desperately. Below are 4 headlines discussing the crimes 4 grandmothers are accused of committing. What does these women, what caused or what drove these women to break the law? Why did these women think they had to sell drugs or have their husband killed for money? Look at the headlines. Friday, February the 17th, 2012, the News 8 broadcast reported grandmother arrested in drug bust in Ansonia, Connecticut. Friday, April 5th, 2012. The following article, American Grandmother Jailed on Drug Charges, was published in the Jamaica Observer. Either the television or someone made Jane Carmichael, age 52, believe drug smuggling was easy. This assumption will now cost her 12 years of her life. April 13, 2012. The following article, Marijuana Grandma Arrested, was reported in the news broadcast in Florida. April 10, 2013. The following article, Grandmother Arrested with Grandson in Murder Plot, was reported. Thursday, January the 2nd, 2014. The following article said, Grandmother arrested for calling 911 to report a beer emergency. This was reported by Fox 8 at GHPB. All of these articles reported elderly women acting badly. The news is shocking. You can't help but ask yourself, what happened to these women? How can a grandmother sell drugs or ask her grandson to commit murder? Grandmothers do not sell drugs or have their grandsons kill their husbands for money. Something is seriously wrong. What made these women act the way they did? What caused elderly women to act out of character and break the law? Selling drugs is not a traffic ticket. Selling drugs is a felony, a crime that causes years in prison. We believe these women were desperate. We think they failed at life and wanted money in their old age, and they were willing to take a chance to get the money. What made these women act desperate? We explore desperation in the book A Christian is Never Desperate. These women had a problem, and they decided to use a bad method to solve that problem. One facet of problem solving that can lead to a better solution is changing the way one thinks. Most people persist in doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, when actually what the person needs to do to solve many of their problems is to change the way they think and to change the associates they live around and to begin acquiring information that from a different source. People need a stratified information source, not a localized information source. That means the same old friends. What leads to desperation is when a person's thinking something is imminent, is going to happen, and there's no way out except to commit a desperate act, like stealing or lying. Read and study the book A Christian is Never Desperate. See if you can find information that will help you avoid being desperate. The choices we make change who we become, causing us to say, who would I be now if only I had done such and such a thing? Where would I be if I had married Bob instead of Charlie? Think about it. Who would I be now if I had just changed?
What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. we will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try, and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow. Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short, positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words? Life is too short for you to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to surround yourself with anything but positivity. And that's what we need to talk about now, dealing with toxic people. Now, we can't change all of our relationships, but we can change some. Some of us might come from families that are not supportive, and some of us come from families and have friends that are very supportive. And that's what we need to figure out now. Who is helping you? Who truly supports you as a person? Who wishes you all the success in the world? Those are the people you need to be around. Those are the people you need to stay connected with. I want you to think about 5 people that you talk to or hang out with the most. Of those 5 people, how many of them are positive influences on your life? How many of those people are helping you build the foundation to your success? And for the people who are not, are you willing to cut them out of your life? Is it worth having people around you that don't believe in you? Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. And until you can change who you let around you and how much they influence you, you will continue down the same path. But the time is now. You can no longer let negative influences impact your goals. Your new chapter starts right now. Think about the positive people. Think about building with them, connecting with them, because they will be the positive influence that you need to help succeed in your life. They will be the driving force for you to live your best life.
A discussion of the trial of the mind. More time should be spent instructing children how to think rather than telling them what to think. If we teach our children how to process information and how to avoid making emotional judgments and assumptions, we would have far fewer murders in this country. Almost no time is spent in the classroom teaching children how to think. So when they grow up they still do not know how to bridle envy and jealousy. Children are told to digest mounds and mounds of facts and to be prepared to regurgitate these facts at will. Consequently, when children get in trouble with their emotions, they do not know how to respond and explosions occur. I like a shiny red truck. I do not have a shiny red truck. Robert has a shiny red truck. I want Robert's shiny red truck. I think I will hit Robert and take his shiny red truck. What does a person do with emotions such as jealousy, envy, and hatred? I like Bob. Gloria says Bob likes girls with large breasts. I do not have large breasts. Brenda has large breasts. Since Brenda has large breasts, Bob will like Brenda. I hate Brenda because Brenda has large breasts, causing Bob to like her. How can I get rid of Brenda? The test in life is how well you handle your thoughts. How well do you evaluate what you are thinking? What do you think about all day? What thoughts flow in and out of your mind every day? How well do you handle these thoughts when they are disruptive, when these thoughts upset you or make you angry? How well do you handle envy, jealousy, and hatred? Do you allow these thoughts to fester until they become unbearable? How often do you plot the demise of that man or woman you hate because they married and they have someone to care for them? How often do you tell lies at work because you are jealous of your coworkers? Why do you refuse to face the fact that you are too lazy to go back to school to provide a better life for your children? Why is it so hard for you to face the fact that your neighbor is getting ahead in life because he's willing to work two jobs to provide for his family? Why don't you evaluate your thoughts when you see a woman whose breasts are larger than yours? Why are you always looking for a married man to date? And why is it so important to you to reap satisfaction from making your supervisor look foolish? Why not read a book that will help you develop the process of resolving one's thoughts? Come on, use your brain. How can you be a man's fiance when he's married? The average man who cheats on his wife will sooner or later decide it makes no sense to exchange his wife for you and disrupt his life. He knows what kind of woman he has at home, and he knows what kind of woman you are. Why do you hate George so much? He works two jobs to buy the pretty red truck that women like so well. George must really get your goat if you spend every day plotting how to seduce his wife. Do you really think taking his wife to bed will make you the man George is? Buying yourself a Cadillac is not going to make you the man you want to be. You need to change and take responsibility for yourself and your family. You need to pick up a book, educate yourself, and change and fulfill your life's purpose. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When a doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, and I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days, I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.